Hi, I'm Lee Cleveland. I am an amputee and cyborg, and today I'm going to show you how to put on a bionic hand using a pull sock. Now, there's a couple different methods to put on a bionic hand. It all depends on your frame style. There's some that have airlocks, and you can just slide your arm in there and go on and off, but really easy. I have the style that's called a pull sock. So the frame itself and the socket is smaller than the actual shape of my arm. So in order to get my arm into this hand, I need to use a pull sock, which I will show you how to feed through the arm and pull out of this hole right here. And essentially, the action of pulling the sock through and pushing your arm into the socket kind of vacuum seals it in there. It kind of just pulls the meat in, and then it allows it to expand within the socket. So right now you can't just stick it in with the style of frame. So what you're gonna need to do this, you're gonna need your bionic arm or your prosthetic. I have the Bionic hand made by Autobach company in Germany. This is a size large hand, I believe. And my frame is made by Hanger Clinics in the United States. It's kind of a Frankenstein arm. My frame uses a I-limb charger. It doesn't really matter, just whatever your prosthetist decided to use. And with this frame, I can use any hand I want as long as it fits this adapter in the wrist. So to get started, you want to make sure your hand's in a fist mode, and then you click it in, and then you're going to need your hand sanitizer or lube. I use hand sanitizer the most. I like to use it because it kind of sanitizes your equipment and your arm as you use it, and it's kind of a clearer and thinner lube. I've used KY jelly in the past under dire circumstances, but this is the less of a mess and less smelly option. So I put it on like this, just a couple drops. You don't want to get too wet or else you're gonna get some pockets of hand sanitizer inside your socket. And then you get your pull sock. This is a homemade pull sock. I lost the one that they gave me, but as long as it's a thin sock with a string that you can feed through your prosthetic, it'll work. So then I get it on like this. I usually get it just a little bit over the edge like that. And then I put a little more lube or hand sanitizer on the sock to get that soaked in. And there you go. Then you get the string. You feed it through the hole, then out like that. And now this is where you want to get your arm lined up correctly. There's this, on mine, there's this screw, and I kind of use that as an indicator for the just side of my elbow joint. Then there's a couple ways to do this. Going straight down, I put my fist on my thigh like that against my knee. And when you're first getting your prosthetic, you're gonna kind of play around like this, and you gotta find what works with your body that won't bend and torque your arm, but also not hurt your elbow and your fist. And you don't want to be pushing on your fist too hard to get for that leverage. See, I pushed against my knee, but you don't want to completely mess it up. And to keep that, the fingers from warping in, just don't push too hard, and make sure that your wrist is locked so it doesn't bend. My wrist has a pin in the wrist. I can bend it in all directions, but when it's locked, it doesn't move. So having your wrist pin locked keeps it from moving. Then you're gonna, once you got it lined up, you pull, and you kind of, I prep it by pulling first, and then you push and you pull at the same time. And then you kind of, it just pops in there. And then if you have the right amount of lube, you can kind of pull your elbow meat more into this, like that. And then if you're lubed up correctly, you don't have to worry about forcing this, like pushing this in. You can just pull, and there you go. And your arm is fed through. Make sure you're comfy, and you're good to go. Power up. We're rocking and we're rolling. And then a little pointer, just make sure that your skin is pulled through there if you have your elbow exposed like that. And then just keep an eye on how your arm's doing. For me, after a few hours, I'll start to lose circulation in my elbow, and you can already see it starting to change color a little bit. It's because it starts to get tight. So just keep an eye on that, and don't push yourself if you're new to this, and have fun, stay happy, stay healthy. Thanks.